Welcome to New Orleans' famous Canal Street. It is 9 a.m. in the morning, and things are dead. I kind of like the aesthetic. A lot of palms, a lot of old world type buildings, and there's a trolley that runs right down the middle of the street. I'm gonna make my way south toward the Mississippi and go visit Café du Monde. So wandering through the French Quarter right now. Whole area is full of bars, restaurants, narrow streets. The whole thing just kind of smells like the old world. All kind of wood. Like, you know the way that old buildings smell? Kind of musty, kind of wooden. Well, I've never been to a place where the entire thing smells like that. I mean, maybe it's proximity to the river. Maybe it's just because everything here is old, but yeah, the French Quarter definitely has its own energy separate from the rest of the city. That and everything smells a little bit like weed. So here's what I came to see. Café du Monde. Naturally, there's an enormous line. This is Jackson Square, also known long ago, before the French came here, when this was the capital of the Spanish province, Plaza de Armas. It's a beautiful little park right here in the middle of the massive French Quarter. Unfortunately, there's a huge storm about to roll in, so I'm gonna have to find somewhere to hide, ideally that church. Divine providence. When the giant storm rolled through, I actually found myself closest to a church. So like the medieval travelers long ago, I am once again taking shelter inside a house of the Lord, which also happens to be the oldest functioning cathedral in the US. So, you know, sometimes a little bit of serendipity helps you out. So it got real nasty real fast. I'm on my way over to get me some lunch, and I'm gonna head over to the art museum and try and wait out the rest of the storm. Feels like the time to call an Uber. And there's Lafitte's Blacksmith Bar, one of the oldest buildings in the French Quarter. Legend has it that long ago it actually used to serve pirates back in the 1700s. So I'm not sure I'm allowed to film inside, but I am gonna go check it out. So it was a little dead when I went in there, and drinking's not really much my thing. So I just took a look around, looked at some of the old cobbling, and then left. But it turns out that it's actually the oldest bar in the United States, at least according to its own registration. So now I'm gonna go get some lunch, and then head over to the art museum, and see if it's still raining when I get back. I might just have to order some étouffée delivered to the hotel and get ready for my trip out tomorrow. So I made it to the French market after all. There was a gap in the rain. And I got me a giant sandwich. So I just came from inside the New Orleans Museum of Art, NOMA. It was really neat to see all the different paintings and all the African and Native American art specifically. They didn't really want me to bring the GoPro in there, so I didn't get a whole lot of footage. But now it's situated in this wonderful green city park, which I'm told has some of the oldest live oaks in the world. So I'm gonna go find them. The Dueling Oaks. That is an enormous tree. It says celebrating 300 years, and I'm not sure if that's how old this tree actually is. Maybe I'll have to do some research afterward. But look at the size of it. I don't see trees that big surviving in a lot of places. I'm gonna cross this little bridge because I heard that there's a Café du Monde outlet right on the other side. Café du Monde, Sans Line. And then further down here, there's a bridge that crosses to that side, where there's apparently a whole grove of those giant oaks. So we'll go find that next. So here's a Cafe Mocha, which I didn't even see on the menu downtown. Being the chocolate and sugar addict that I am, this is definitely right up my alley. It's way too hot for me to carry it through the rest of the park, which means that I'm just gonna sit here and collect my thoughts for a little bit. It's shaping up to be a pretty hot day. Hopefully the rain doesn't come back anytime soon. But if it does, I'm just gonna be able to Uber back to the hotel and set up shop for a little while. See what the top thing on Uber Eats is. If it doesn't, I'm gonna go check out the Napoleon House, which supposedly is a place that was actually built to house the Emperor Napoleon if for whatever reason he should be exiled to America. Look at how these trees just kind of grow in whatever direction they want. Oh, look, a gaggle of ducks. I'm just gonna creep on through. Yep. As tasty as I bet y'all are. Not sure I could take every one of you. One me versus like 20 ducks. Who wins? Oh, look at that tree. Gorgeous, ancient. Kind of want to go lay on it, but it's sitting in a pool of mud. And here we have the Live Oak Grove. It's beautiful, quiet, a little haunting. But I definitely want a picture with this guy. Man, industrialization is really taking a toll on these forests. Squelch. Well, these were new shoes. Hello, Mr. Tree. I bet you like this rain a lot more than I do. Yeah, you're looking nice and green and happy. Oh, your buddy over here is looking haunted and creepy as always. Look at that thing. Look at all of those hangers up there. I don't know what they are, but they really have that grave shroud look to them. You know, against that ominous dark sky moving toward me and the subtle thunder in the background. Feels like something significant happened here long ago. Somebody planting a tree or something. It's getting pretty nasty. I'm just gonna go check out what's over there a little ways, and then I'm gonna call an Uber because the GoPro is technically waterproof, but the stick that carries its battery is not, and the photo that I bought is also decidedly not. So I'm gonna head back to the hotel and chill out for a couple hours, see where the evening takes me. Parthenon getting kind of lit this afternoon. And here it is, the Ansimon Oak. Look at the size of that trunk. For context, I'm gonna go stand next to it and make it kind of clear how huge this tree actually is. So the rain has stopped, briefly, which means that I'm back out here on Canal Street, looking for somewhere to eat. And this is the legendary Napoleon House, supposedly built to house Napoleon if he were exiled to New Orleans. Looks a little busy for me to get in, but I'm gonna try. Update, I got in. So I'm about to eat a pile of food. Then I'm gonna have a cappuccino, my signature cocktail. And then I'm gonna go and head to bed. So, talk to you later. back at the hotel. So I learned two things today. First, when you stand alone in a crowded place and don't seem to be doing anything, people immediately think you're up to something weird. It's been a while since I solo traveled, and I completely forgot about that fact. So while I was standing waiting to get into Napoleon House, a gentleman in a blazer, looking very well put together, came up to me and, asked discreetly if I had his drugs. And I was extremely tempted to say yes, just to play along with the farce, because he seemed kind of out of it. Second, the last thing that I wanted to do was visit Lafitte's at night to see the piano playing and maybe just get to experience what the old pirate bar was actually like. I thought that might get nixed because of the rain, but it turned out the real reason was that my poor feet just could not take it anymore. So, second thing to remember is when you're breaking in a new pair of shoes, there's only so far you can walk. While you're breaking in a new pair of shoes, there's only so far you can walk. I think Confucius said that. Well, it's time for me to go to bed. Tomorrow, off to Chattanooga.